England undefeated in the competition so far. Against a team from New Zealand who won their first game against the UAE in a very high-scoring game, but on the wrong side of Pakistan yesterday. As the balls were just tickled down to third man by Nick Compton. On Facebook Live, I want to know if any New Zealand fans have got up for this one. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people across England keeping an eye on this as well. And this looks like Haroon Khan opening the baton here with Compton as Nige Collins comes into bowl. Just flicked off his legs here, looking for a second run. Haroon Khan's coming back here, it's going to be close. I reckon that may have been out there. Great running. Well, it's always great running if you're not run out, but I think that was extremely close. Just going to watch the replay here again. Just a little fumble on pick up there. And that was enough for Haroon Khan to get back safely. Collins comes in again. Just drained down the leg side there. Another wide. In last man stands. The first wide is 1. And that should be 3 to the score. Collins comes in again to Khan. Lovely little bit of shape there. Just worked away up the slope there. Collins looking to come back after an amazing first day, where he got 90 off 29 balls, but not quite the same result yesterday as he comes into bowl to Khan. 5 off 3. Back of a length. Just rocks back through the offside. Going to look for a second run here. Compton's come back. And Khan comfortably back for the second run. So on the pitch 2 at the moment, it's LMS Wales taking on LMS South Africa. South Africa looking to bounce back yesterday after a surprise defeat to Singapore. I know they've been working extremely hard in the nets. Managed to get a couple of practice games in today, as marquee player James Franklin takes the ball from the Ron Fleet end here to start the second over. Ball just went down to fine leg there for a single. James Franklin spoke before about how he may be looking to take the pace off the ball. He spoke about how dry the wickets have got. Good weather here in England. Obviously not making it very comfortable for some of the quick bowlers as he comes in round the wicket. Back of a length again. Khan just rocks back. Works it down just towards long leg. It's a fantastic throw by the fielder. But another 2 runs to the score. Little outside edge there, Khan turns blind. He's coming back for a second. I think that's very, very close, you know. That's the danger to any young players watching there. Khan had his bat in the wrong hand and he turned blind. Listen to the call of Compton. And he put the afterburners on there. This is awfully close. But what he did do extremely well there, he ran his bat in early and was home just about. James Franklin comes in again. Much better start to his spell today from yesterday. He had a lot of bad luck. Commentator's curse there for me, and there's a wide ball. Just a wry smile from Franklin. Absolutely fantastic with this New Zealand team, chatting away with the boys there before, as they had a little practice in the net area. as he comes round the wicket. Really wily performer here, just got the ball to nibble away from Khan. Just looking a little bit vulnerable there today. Hasn't quite got his feet going. A little bit of movement away from the bat as Franklin charges in again. Back of a length this time. Khan just rocks onto the back foot, happy to take a single. And that brings us to the end of the second over. That's 15 for none for LMS England. 3 off 3 for ex-Test player Nick Compton, and Haroon Khan is 13 off 9. That's a massive shout, and he's got him. Nige Collins, he's got the breakthrough, and Haroon Khan has got to go. Quite a large appeal here, just waiting to watch that back again. Collins, a real talisman of this LMS New Zealand side. Charging in down the slope. So watch this back. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. He didn't get forward at all there. Just above the knee roll. Khan may have thought that that was maybe a fraction high. Maybe it was, but it did look. It looked very, very good. Very, very close. And anyway, that's the end of his innings, and England have lost their first wicket. New Zealand will be really happy with that early wicket there. Quite an interesting retro top being worn here. Nothing more frustrating for a bowler. He's just bowled a brilliant ball to dismiss Khan, and then he's drained one down the leg side, not made the adjustment to the left-hander there. This is really, really good from Collins here. Just dropped a few degrees here at the Chester Cricket Club. But it's nice to be joined by my pal Ross here. Welcome, Ross.
How are you doing, Lee?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Had a great day of LMS cricket here at the World Series.
It's been a fantastic start. You must be delighted as a franchise manager or owner or multiple roles that you have.
That's fantastic. All the teams having a great time. It's been some quality cricket, and people making a lot of friends from all around the world, which is what it's all about.
As Collins comes in, as the ball's hit beautifully behind back of the point there, it looks like a missed field, and it's run away for 4. That's really disappointing for New Zealand. They were just really starting to gather some pressure on this England side, and they just let them off the hook.
A lot of match rivalry going on here. All these guys know each other from indoor cricket, from the years. So James Collins comes into Blake van der Linde, batting in a helmet today, which is unusual for him.
It's quite interesting as well. He seems to have some sort of retro jacket on as well. Is that part of the LMS range?
It is. I think it's the travel jacket, but I think he's probably a bit chilly, so that's why he's got it on. Definitely be noted for the fines meeting after the game.
Well, I've just rocked onto the LMS app, and Forgot that there's so many games going on around the world now.
Yes, it's a Tuesday night, so there are lots of games going on in London. For a start, I think there are 30 odd games that happen every night there. So to all the London teams, if you're not, great shot by Nick Compton down the ground. If you're not playing tonight, I'm sure you're watching this live feed. Big game, England versus New Zealand. A lot of bragging rights at stake.
Well, I'm just looking through some of these names. I can't believe it's not Butler.
Joss Butler.
Obviously some very serious corporate names as well, yes, from some of the banks.
Yep.
As Franklin comes in, just dragged down. And Van der Linde just rolls it down to final leg for a single. Is there any particular name over the years that you remember you think, oh, do you know what, that was a fantastic name?
Well, my team name, class is temporary. Was the saying going, form is permanent, class is temporary? Class is temporary, form is permanent.
Who come up with that yourself?
Good friend of mine, Gavin Buckle. Who
is he a big LMS player at home?
He is, but he's moved down to Southampton, so he's playing in one of the local leagues there. He's a quality right-hand off spinner, and he's styled his batting technique on Jock Callis.
It's not a bad person to style it on. Probably one of the greatest all-round cricketers of all time.
And he's very good mates with Graeme Smith as well.
He's not a bad guy to have in your phone book. Yep. That's the first time I've seen Nick Compton really get into top gear between the wickets there. He saw Franklin pick the ball up. As Franklin comes in round the wicket, it's a low full toss and it's been punished through wide mid-wicket. And Compton's just starting to motor here now. He's up to 8 off 6 balls.
Bit of a Middlesex rivalry going on here. Both currently contracted at the county. So they'll know their games inside out from all the nets that they have day in and day out.
Speaking to Nick, he's absolutely loved this. I saw some of the stuff on social media as well. He's been bigging this tournament up. He's thoroughly enjoyed himself, and it's great that some of these professionals are really getting involved in it. It'd be easy for them to just turn up and play and go home, but none of them have done that. I think it's been fabulous.
No, they've all been fantastic. Such a good bunch of guys. Really embraced the whole tournament. Spoken to all the players, sort of shared all their knowledge, and just, oh, that's a bit unlucky.
It looks fabulous when a keeper leaves it and it hits the stumps and there's a run out, but when it doesn't hit the stumps, it drives me insane.
So did you get a game for the England Masters team today?
I did get a game for the England Masters. We took on the Indian Masters today.
How did you go?
We were 90. We were bowling first. They were 90 for 2 off 10 overs. And we bowled them out for 104.
Wow. Was there a couple of double plays in there?
2 double plays. I did manage to get one myself.
Well done.
So I don't know if I get any points on the rankings for them, but you know, I was really proud of myself to get my first double play. Managed to sneak out open in the batting as well, and got a blistering 1 off 3 balls.
Well done.
I had my middle peg cartwheeled everywhere by the opening bowler. But I'll be back out there on Friday to take on my friend Ali, who's playing for the Pakistan Masters.
Just there's a lot of chat going on from him about that game.
He's fantastic, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's one of my favourite people to sit in the box. Second to you,
yeah,
Ross.
I was about to say, what about me? Nigel Collins in to Nick Compton. Oh, that's a fantastic shot, that. Stacey Hyman on the boundary. It's a great arm, whips it in.
Some really decent arms amongst this New Zealand side, I've noticed so far. The England players seem to be moving pretty fast here. The wicket here at Chester just seems to be slowing down as the day goes on, and I feel like it's becoming not as straightforward to bat. I think some of the players will look forward to the groundsman moving us on to the next pitch over the coming days.
Oh,
that is
Nick Compton. That would have been a great catch.
Kavanagh down there, the spin bowler, That's gone straight through his hands there. He got into a fantastic position. He did well to get there, but it was hit awfully hard. It's gone down towards long on, and he set himself, but it's just gone through. A little bang of the turf there. I think he believes he should have caught it.
I think so. I think he's thinking, let's hope that's not too costly. I mean, I myself today put down 2 very simple catches in the outfield in the Masters game versus South Africa.
Did you enjoy that?
No.
And it's not because you don't enjoy LMS cricket, it's just because obviously you've got a lot going on.
No, I love the game. I just didn't enjoy it.
Oh, you didn't enjoy dropping the catches,
yes,
sorry.
Yes, and
misinterpretation from me.
And both batsmen went on to get 50, so I heard a lot about that after the game.
Wonder how LMS Wales are getting on the back pitch there.
So it's Kane Lindsay into the attack. He sat out the last game versus Pakistan, so he'll be looking to start well, get the ball in the right areas. Blake van der Linde having a look at the field.
England just up to that point there just hadn't got going, but Compton now 16 off 9. It just shows the difference one ball can make there. It could have been 23 for 2 with the marquee player in the hutch. Another dot ball, and this is a bit of an interesting situation here. We've come out the power play. This is definitely not England's best power play so far. Haroon Khan already out. So do you think van der Linde's going to have to take the onus on here, or is it all going to go on to Compton?
Oh, well bowled. 2 dots. Dots are worth gold in this format. Blake van der Linde scores a lot of runs in the local leagues in London. He's going to have to draw on all his experience and get a side of 50. Oh, it's wide.
It's a pity there, isn't it? Lindsay's obviously started really well, 2 dot balls, and he's just drained one down the leg side there. All the pressure on van der Linde here. He knows that really he needs to get moving here. He's 9 off 11. Doesn't want to put Nick Compton under too much pressure here to score his runs too quickly. As the ball's banged in.
Great over this.
Another dot ball. The par scores have been high though, haven't they? They've been up around that 180, 190 region.
They have, yeah.
But as the day's gone on, it's just started to get tougher and tougher. Just in the background there, Ross, I can see that the ladies team here at Chester are training away. Quite a successful group there. They've got 2 teams, got a first and a second team. First team of current champions of our county.
Brilliant. Look like there's some handy cricketers down there.
Oh, there is some fantastic cricketers, a couple of county players as well. As the wicket goes there, the pressure was too much for van der Linde as he just chops on.
Too many dots.
It doesn't matter what form of cricket, whether it's Test, ODI, T20, and now last man stands, dots build pressure, and pressure normally involves a wicket, doesn't it?
1 brings 2, as they say. So,
wasn't his most fluid day, van der Linde. I've been impressed with him so far in this tournament, and he just struggled to get going there.
Not sure what shot he was trying to do there. Play there.
He just seemed to be on the move a little bit. He was obviously looking to force it. Bowler just come a little bit straighter there. And yeah, he's maybe a fraction quicker than he thought, and it was through him. And a little wave there. I know his wife Selena was on Facebook Live the other day wishing him well, and I'm sure she'll be at home there watching. Maybe send him a little text.
The sun will come up tomorrow, as they say.
That's the beauty of this tournament, though. Tomorrow's the rest day, so we'll be able to recuperate mentally and physically. Maybe take in a little bit of this beautiful city.
Definitely going to see what the town has to offer tonight. I think the team's going for a dinner and a couple of beers afterwards.
Speaking to a couple of the players from different countries, they've been really impressed with the local area. Chester, a Roman town.
Yep.
And the Cestrians have been very hospitable. But I know a couple of the teams are maybe going to branch out a bit further tomorrow. The South Africans were talking of going either to Liverpool or Manchester.
Good call.
I made it pretty simple. You just don't go to Manchester. As a Liverpool fan, Liverpool's got far more to offer, sporting and culturally, in my opinion.
Nick Compton, so Simon Matthews into the attack. His left arm spinner just drags it a bit down, and Nick Compton has dispatched it to the boundary. I think Nick Compton's going to have to get 50 here for the England team if they're going to post a decent target.
It's interesting that they've changed. Lomas has done relatively well in this tournament, opening the bat, and he's got a couple of 20s, but he seems to have managed to get Compton on strike. You know, with 6 overs in, Compton's only faced 10 balls.
Yeah, he needs to be facing more balls than not. He's a quality player, as we know. Simon Matthews in, chucks it up. It's
a lovely shot, isn't it? Inside out. That is something else. Just looking at the New Zealand field here, Ross, you can see that they've still got one of the fielders quite fine here. Bowling left arm spin. Do you think they could maybe get Lindsay back round, near a square and maybe get the guy round to extra cover? Because that's a telegraph shot from Compton. He's played that brilliantly throughout his whole career.
Definitely, I think he's definitely wasted down there. He needs to get squarer. And it's 4 more.
This is brutal. He's gone the other way.
It's three boundaries in a row.
It's all about the footwork, though, isn't it? Anyone watching at home that he's looking for a way. One of the tactics to play spin bowling. Obviously, he's not getting down on one knee and sweeping. He's just using his feet and manipulating his hands, and he's found 3 boundaries in a row here. As Compton all of a sudden has raced on to 28 of 12.
So England 53 for 2.
This is a bit of a key period for both sides here. I think New Zealand feel like they'll be really in it if they can just get one more wicket. And if they can get the one at Compton, I think they'll be absolutely in the box seat here. But Compton's just rocked back there. He didn't quite get there, but he's managed to get enough bat on it out to the deep extra cover boundary for 2 more. Just going back to the women's cricket before.
Sorry.
Is there any reason or is there any plan for the women? Has another boundary from Compton.
Fantastic shot by Nick Compton.
That's a brutal first over there. 4 boundaries and a 2. I don't think he bowled a bad ball in there really. Maybe that was a fraction short, but
yeah.
Very, very brutal. Is there any plan for the Last Man Stands franchise to go out into women's cricket?
We actually do have Last Woman Stands.
Oh, fantastic!
And there's a league that runs in Derby that has, I think, 4 or 5 teams, and Steve Hayes runs that. And yeah, fantastic setup he runs there, and they love it.
After being heavily involved as just in shot there, legend of Wirral, Last Man Stands, Rich Battersby's in shot there. I know he was invited to play for the England Masters today. Sadly, he couldn't make himself available. But it's great to see so many Last Man Stand players from all around the local area coming down to take that in. But I really think this could be a really good format for the women's game in this area as well. I know how difficult it is sometimes to not so much get 11 players out, but more to give them all ample opportunity, because the top players are really strong, and to give those girls the opportunity where they need 5 bowlers, or everyone's going to touch the ball in the field, and more often than not the batters are going to get a bat. I think that's really key, not to lose these young girls, these young women from the game of cricket.
Definitely, 100% agree. I think what 2020 cricket has done is made cricket look fun. So it's Lomas. Knocks it down to the leg side for 1. Back to the women. Yeah, they great to have them playing. A lot of young girls might sort of lose interest with the longer form, because but 2020 will keep them playing and get them involved, should I say.
Well, we can see from the England women's setup in the Kia Super League, as the ball just lifts off a length there off Lindsay. Lindsay saw Compton coming there, and he's just banged that in. That was a couple of yards quicker there. That was really good cricket from the bowler.
Really good cricket. And I think the England bowlers will be licking their lips watching that, because they've still got to obviously bowl in this. And it's only going to deteriorate as the game goes on.
think that's just lifted. It was definitely a bit of extra effort from Lindsay. This time Compton stays back. He's hit it very, very firmly out to deep mid-wicket. A little fumble. They're going to be looking for 3 here as the fielder stays down.
Fantastic fielding there by Stacey Hindman. Hope he's okay.
But I think we may have a small delay here as one of the fielders has stayed down in the outfield.
Hope he's okay.
Still just waiting here to see the condition of the fielder out at deep square leg. Who is it down there, Ross?
It's Stacey Hindman. Hope he hasn't hurt a knee. Looks like he might be okay.
It's an awful long jog for the New Zealand.
No, he looks okay.
Oh no, he's a member of the England team. I thought there was a man running. It looks like Jamie Carter. I thought he was going to be running 200 yards just to hand a bottle of water over there. It's amazing how many times a bottle of water fixes any injury.
So Jamie Carter is the 9th man for the England team today.
Just for the people at home, that's a picture of a lock. Each day I've tried to give you a little bit of an insight into England. We had the ice cream van, yep. The canal boat, and today it's going to be the lock. In olden times, these would have been the lock keepers, but I think they're just a couple of friends who are coming down on a barge. As the camera changes again, that's Darren Leach on strike there, playing for LMS Wales. Oh, we nearly had a run out there. Nearly had a run out. As we come back to this game,
Simon Matthews back into the attack.
Do you think he'll change any tactics here?
I think he's just got to pitch it up. Oof.
I think he's got away with that one. Compton maybe still slightly shaken from that ball. Thudded into his chest off a length there, but he's missed out on that full bunger as it goes down to long on for a single. England have just got to decide what a good score is here as Lomas rocks back again. He seems to have found a gap as Kavanagh comes round wearing a pair of quite loud runners there. What's he like as a character, Milton Kavanagh?
A really good guy.
How was his head after that catch yesterday? Did he get a bit of stick in the rooms over that?
He did, yes. He had a bit of a bump. He had the ice on it all night. So.
Nothing worse. A drag down. Or no. I'm not sure that piece of cricket will quite make the highlights package of the day there. That was a drag down from the left arm spinner. It gripped as it was short, and the batter just toe-ended it out to cover for a single.
It's Nick Compton back on strike. 38 off 17. Ooh.
It's high in the air. There's a chance of a catch here. Oh, it's dropped short. As James Franklin lets the ball bounce probably maybe 5 or 6 yards in front of him. He sprinted in on the outfield there and just couldn't quite get there. Compton's just mistimed a couple here. Obviously looking to move the game on, I think.
Time need 2 days.
Oof.
Hey, when I ask for a bag of ice, this is what I get.
Do you work in miles per hour or kilometres per hour on your speed gun?
Kilometres.
For people at home, how many kilometres per hour do you reckon that last delivery was?
10.
But it was a better over for Matthews anyway. He's came back really well.
No boundary.
And they're going to go for another over of Lindsay here. And this will be the last over before the change. If you've not watched us here on LMS online, as part of the World Championships, after 10 overs, the umpires change the bowlers round and we have 10 from the other end. So this is going to be the final over from the Ron Fleet end here, as Kane Lindsay comes in.
Got some fantastic stats there. Bowled 330 LMS overs, got 100 wickets. And averaging 19 in a best of 4 for 4.
But is that a world ranking of 44? Or is that a New Zealand ranking of 44?
No, his best bowling figures were 4 for 4.
Right, I was just looking in that top corner and saw WR and I thought, oh, as the ball just jumps again, you may be right here, Ross. This wicket's just starting to misbehave a little bit on a length here.
Looking a bit too paced.
I think Lindsay's been very clever though, to be honest. He's gone for just 10 runs in his 2.1 overs. He's mixing his pace off really well here, and he's smashing the top of the stumps as he just drifts onto the thigh pad of Lomas. He's missed out there. He's going to be, I think it's 8 off 7.
See what Compton can do here. Good improvisation there. Set 2 from the onset. Gets home comfortably.
So just coming up to halfway here, we're 73 for 2. Just a couple more balls to go here. England are really going to start having to put the foot down here. As he gets him! Lindsay's been the Premier bowler so far for the New Zealand side, and he gets the Premier wicket of England. Nick Compton knew that they needed to kick on here. He's gone across the ball as he's advanced down the wicket, and it's just thudded into the top of the off stump there. Just watching it back on replay. He's come down the wicket. Oh, he's not happy. Compton just rolled his eyes as he heard that death rattle of the stumps there as he walks off. And England in a bit of a perilous position here, already losing 3 wickets before halfway.
So I've just gone into the Facebook live stream. We've got Murray Taylor who's tuned in. He's a mate of mine from London. He's asking why he didn't get a call up. The simple answer to that would be these fields aren't big enough for your bowling, buddy.
That must be saying something, because it's about 70, 80 metres to one side there.
He's been known to lose a lot of balls in the local leagues in London.
So Stacey Hyman's here, just coming up behind us here. We're just going to, very quickly, this is going to take just a few moments. I know he's not a massive fan of getting in the comms box, but hi Stacey, just very quickly for the people at home. I know there's quite a few people stayed up, I think, is it pretty late in New Zealand now? Early in the morning, same thing where I'm from. Hopefully coming home after a night out, they're worried about what you've done there. Just give us a little explanation.
Yeah, basically just diving on this hard ground. We're not sort of used to it in New Zealand, and yeah, basically twice in 2 days landed on my knee in an awkward position. So yeah, I'm going to put some ice on and hopefully I'm ready for Thursday.
Well, hopefully you won't be needed, but you can be, restrict the England side to a low score and not be needed to bat. But have you got anything planned on your day off tomorrow? Because obviously you're going to have to do a little bit of rest. You're going to have to get some more ice on this knee. But have you got anything in mind?
Yeah, we did plan on going out for a round of golf, but I don't think I'll be doing that tomorrow now. Yeah, so it might be just a chilled out day, and might go and hit the pools maybe. And
well, the one thing we do have a number of beautiful golf courses over here in England, and we do have buggies as well. So I'm sure that the New Zealand franchise manager will ensure that you're in full comfort on your day off there. I don't know who that is, but I need to know who that is, by the way.
Yeah, I think I might have a fair idea.
I've got a funny feeling he'll be back in the box shortly. But Stacey, we're just obviously making sure that you're okay, and hope to see you back out here on Thursday. And what are your predictions? How many can you keep England to here?
Prediction-wise, hopefully we can keep them to 160, and I think we'll be in with a good chance.
Must have been disappointed yesterday after the Pakistan game.
Yeah, we've definitely hit us pretty hard. So this is the game to regroup and hopefully we can get the runs and get the points.
We'll beat England today, and you'll be tucked in behind Pakistan and be able to maybe put some more pressure on them as there's a missed field from the New Zealand side. Who was that there?
That was Charles Gray.
He doesn't look overly charmed with himself in the deep. Lomas has managed to just get another boundary there. England look like they're very aware that maybe they're a few short here at the moment. They're just starting to put the foot down. So fingers crossed for you, Stace. I really hope this knee pulls up for you on Thursday. And I'd like to wish you luck in this game, but I really hope that England get over the line.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. So while you've just been off there, Ross, there, England have scooted onto 86 for 3 as Lomas goes down onto one knee again. He's been joined by Simon Dunn, and he's 2 off 1. Seems to be a couple of injuries knocking around this New Zealand side. I've heard Nigel Collins shouting across to one of the guys.
Well, it's a massive shot by Simon Dunning. Whoa, great shot.
Right, that's gone straight into Boomtown over there.
He's made his intentions clear, and that's the way he plays.
I think I'd be swapping my my car for a tank this week for the LMS cricket, because that car, that small hatchback, isn't going to last if the balls keep flying that way towards the housing estate.
There's been some questions on Facebook Live about the Wales-South Africa score. So at the moment, LMS Wales are 130 for 6 after 17 overs.
In all the games so far, LMS Wales just have really struggled to post massive totals. They seem to have been quite competitive with the ball, to be honest, Ross. They managed to take Australia out of the bonus point contention yesterday with only 130 on the board, but they just seem to, maybe, whether it's just a lack of maybe 1 or 2 batters, but they, obviously they'll pull together at the last minute, replacing Bangladesh with visa issues.
Yes.
Any of the Bangladesh guys listening on Facebook Live, we're desperately sorry that you're not here with us, and hopefully the next World Champs will that won't be the case.
Yes, totally agree. And hi to Rifat, who's in Bangladesh and done a lot of work for this tournament, and we're missing you. Keep in touch, buddy. So Kane Lindsay, this is a fantastic spell of bowling. 2 for 15 in his 3 overs. Oh. As I've said that, he's just pushed one down the leg side.
So many of these bowlers seem to want to let us down in the comms box here. But you look at those last 10 balls there. Before that dot ball, couple of 4s, a 6, at least a run off every ball, and that's how you play LMS to keep the scoreboard moving. As Lomas plays a very classy shot out to deep backward point. There's a little fumble by Milton Kavanagh out there. Not seen him bowl yet. You expecting to see him come on at some point?
I think he's coming into the attack pretty soon with his little wily off-spin medium paces. He should get a bit of purchase on this wicket tonight.
It's a really nice line. Lindsay's been superb here, Rossi. Really hasn't given the batter much room to work with. Seems like a wily campaigner. Where does he play his LMS?
He plays in Auckland. Plays for a team called Court Short, who are the current Auckland champs. Oh, yes, you're right. He's a world ranking of 44. And he's reached his 100th wicket, so well done to him.
That world ranking of 44, how many players will that be out of?
100,000?
It's not bad, that.
Not bad.
I bet you some of the guys who are obviously in those single or double digit positions watching those rankings regularly, I bet you they get into work after their games on the midweek and check their rankings quickly, don't they?
We did some analytics on views, and there's a lot
of for 2 here, chance for a run out. Excellent run in there by Dunning.
The most popular time that guys are on the website watching their stats is on the train on the way to work.
It's not bad, is it? Obviously a lot of professionals playing last man stands,
exactly.
getting the train to work. can just picture it now. Croissant in one hand, LMS app in the other. Sounds like a very civilised way to live life, that, doesn't it?
It is London for you.
Great to see so many young people and families taking in this LMS tournament. Even this last game of the day.
Little sausage dog there. I used to have one of those. Name was Jimmy. Okay, so that's Milton Kavanagh into the attack.
Always a big fan of dogs having real names.
Yeah.
We had a dog called Baxter. I always wanted a greyhound called Dave. As Milton Kavanagh comes in, much better start today, straight with the dot ball.
I think Danny's eyeing this out. Gives it a big hit down to the extra cover boundary. Fantastic shot. That's 4 more. Fantastic cricketer, Simon Dunning.
I think yesterday he was just a little bit forceful early on. Didn't really give himself a chance to get in, but today looks in completely different sort of mood here and has hit some fantastic shots.
He's been in the nets all day. Honing his... Ooh. Big swing and a miss.
He's read it out the hand there. He's just a little bit of extra bounce there, a little bit variable. Dunning trying to work towards this short leg side boundary here. As he just stands a little bit taller this time and works it towards the offside.
Oh, terrible fielding by Leighton Fisher.
I think he's got a bit of a sore shoulder as well. There may be a chance of a 3. Dunning's going to come back here.
Good running.
It's excellent running.
That's going to make the bloopers reel, that one. Oh, I think it's just popped on him in the last minute. Milton Kavanagh back in yet. Oh, I think he's nicked that.
Be interesting to see what the umpire comes up with here.
Oh, he's called a bye. So after 13 overs, it's 110 for 3. Dunning 16 off 7 and Lomas 26 from 17.
Just watching on the back pitch here, that's LMS Wales against South Africa. South Africa really trying their best to bounce back yesterday. It was the shock of the day. LMS Singapore turning over the South Africans as we see some of the England players. That's David Nielsen Scott. I think I've pronounced that right today after getting hammered on social media for getting it the wrong way round.
Did you?
And one of the England legends there as well, after a very, very impressive victory over India. As Lomas takes strike here. It's Matthews again. Just a little bit fuller this time. I think that's a much better length from him. Projected score at the moment is about 169. They're going at 8.46 and over.
Should we have our traditional bet on the score that we had every day?
I actually think that that's pretty good, that projected score.
Nelson.
I think
it's good fielding on the boundary by Nigel Collins.
For school down here, Nigel Collins, as he nearly stood on the rope.
There would have been a schoolboy error that.
No, I'm more than happy to go for 175 as just a little paddle sweep there by Lomas, who's 28 off 19, Dunning 17 off 8. It's a really handy partnership for England after the loss of the big wicket. Matthews has come back really well here. He's really expensive in that first over.
Has pulled it back well, but Simon Dunning likes the left arm spin. Ooh.
Gone down again. That's
massive. Oh, it's hit one of the local houses.
I think that's gone straight into the garage door this time.
It's a great shot. Oh, fantastic shot. Full toss, waist high leg. So that's Simon Dunning. He's hit it straight to long on. Great catch by Nigel Collins, and that's a big wicket.
He seems to marshal the troops, Nigel Collins. I know, obviously.
He's captain today.
I was going to say, I know he's not normally the captain of the side, but I can tell he has a real input on things, and he's obviously captain of the group today. Where's the skipper today?
Johnny Scott is resting himself. He's hurt his, well, got a stiff hamstring, so he's decided that he best to have a rest and be ready for action on Thursday.
Looks like Jamie Carter may be rested as well today. It looks like Nicholas Dolby Walsh.
That's Adil Hussain is into bat.
I think he's back in the side though, isn't he?
Oh yes, sorry, sorry.
There's Hussain who did really well yesterday, put on a really good partnership with David from the Port Sunlight Cricket Club.
And he gives it a good whack. Charles Gray, that's better. So Charles Gray plays his cricket in Christchurch, the local league in Hagley.
Is that near the Hagley Oval?
Yes, it is, yep. And he plays for the Mantonios, who were one of the first teams to play LMS in New Zealand.
Is there any meaning or anything special about that name?
I don't know. The Mantonio All-Stars is what they call themselves. Ooh, that's a great ball.
Straight away on the money there.
Oh, first ball for Adil Hussain. He's not going to be happy.
It's an unusual angle for a left-hand batsman to have to face the off-spinner. Normally they come around the wicket, so Hussain there, his head just fell over fractionally in the shot there, and he looks like he's had one run through him by Kavanagh. There it is again. Oh, it's been on the outside edge. He's done him with the flight there. Fantastic bowling from Milton Kavanagh.
Well bowled, sir. Keeping the pressure on for the New Zealanders. So Dave Nielsen-Scott.
Do you know what? I don't think that was a million miles away there. It probably was going down the leg side, but I always think when you see a full bunger, I'm amazed there wasn't a little appeal there.
Yeah. So these two need to regroup and try to get their team to about at least 160, 170 to some sort of target to bowl at.
Loud call and no there from Nielsen-Scott as Lomas just works his way up to 30 off 21 balls. Kavanagh started really well here, 1 for 8 off just under 2 overs. Must be a tough situation for Nielsen-Scott to come in here. He's probably stuck between two minds. Still plenty of overs to bat here, but not that many wickets left. No one's retired so far. A lot of the power hitters have gone, so what would you do here, Ross?
I would have 1 or 2 sighters, and then I'd go big and hit. I would actually rotate the strike, and hopefully I'd be batting with a big hitter.
See, if they had a couple of people retired here, just looking at the projected scores, they'd be looking nearer that 180, 190 mark, but I honestly believe that the current run rate is probably more suitable as Franklin comes in bowling. He promised me this, some left arm spin from the City Road end here, wearing the cap while bowling. Franklin comes back in here. He's just cramped Nielsen Scott off the room here. Fielder just couldn't quite get in quick enough there. Lovely deft touch from Nielsen Scott. Powerful shot there. It comes down towards Nigel Collins. Picks up comfortably and just lobs it back into the bowler. James Franklin seems a lot happier bowling this slow left arm here on these turning pitches of Chester as he comes back in. I reckon he's bowled a few of these in the nets in the past, just to rest his body as a seamer. Fantastic bit of fielding this time to come back for a second run.
So Nigel Collins marshalling the troops, keeping them focused on what's going on.
So he's just shouted across to Lindsay there, who bowled really well before, just to swap at the end of the over with, is it Fish or Fisher?
Well fielded by Charles Gray. Well done, Chucky. Great fielding.
Do you think that's because there's quite a long boundary out on that side?
So James Franklin just finished his left arm spin.
He did say before, you look at his figures, he's gone mass haste off here. It took him one day to work out that maybe bowling some medium paces isn't going to be the way here at Chester.
Yep.
So it was either to go all out off the long run or bowl some left arm spin. I think he's picked the right option.
I think maybe they might extend his contract to Middlesex.
It's funny, isn't it, how many I know a lot of club cricketers who bowl seam. As their career goes on, they resort to spin. You don't see many.
Oh, he's turning its big turn there for Milton.
You don't see many seamers at international level just later in their career just saying, "I'll tell you what, I'll just bowl some spin." I'd love to see James Anderson do that with Joe Root. Oh, sorry, Joe. He's turning a bit today. Playing away in India, I'm going to bowl some offies.
So the New Zealanders putting some serious pressure on the English batsmen.
What a shot this is straight down the ground. He's got a chance.
Oh, what a fantastic catch by Nigel Collins.
Looking for the double play here.
Well done, Nigel Collins. Fantastic catch, running to his left.
I think when the batsman hit that, I think he thought he was very safe there. He got a really good contact. It was travelling really well, but Collins has moved beautifully to his left here, right in front of the commentary position.
It's coming straight to us, and he's actually saved us, I think. I wasn't getting it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he does.
Looks like he might have.
Who have we got coming up to bat here? Is this the skipper?
This is Nicholas Dalby-Welsh, an LMS legend in London. He's been playing since 2008.
I think Nielsen Scott's using one of the. Is that one of the co-branded bats, or is that just one of the LMS bats there?
I think it's just an LMS bat.
I know yesterday we saw Abdul Razak smashing the ball all over the place with the co-branded Bass bat.
Fantastic knock that was. The
know.
Kiwis really putting the pressure on now. A little bit of panic in the English camp.
I think they're going to have to readjust what they're looking to get here. They haven't got the wickets to be able to kick on at the end, so I think this is what the. Oh God, there's a chance of a run out here. Oh, we didn't quite get across quick enough there. There wasn't a reaction from the skipper. A bit of a misunderstanding between him and Lomas, but they've managed to get through with no danger, and that's a signal. That's the end of Milton Kavanaugh's third over, 2 for 9. He's been really impressive today.
You don't want to be running out the captain without him facing a ball. In many a team, I reckon it's a golden #1 rule.
We're just trying to work out here, just for the viewers at home, Nigel Collins, Stacey Hyman's been offered that knee injury, and obviously we all saw it happen. It didn't look good, but obviously he doesn't want to be left out the opportunity to bat. So they're just speaking about trying to get him back on the field there.
I think so, yes. I think they'll definitely need him to bat. He is one of the team's better batsmen, so they will need him to bat.
I think Lomas is making a bit of a statement to the England hierarchy here. He's opened the batting in the last 2 days. He's done reasonably well, but he's hitting the ball really sweetly now, and that takes him on to 39 and puts all the pressure on the franchise player James Franklin.
Chucked it up.
That's another one into the gap there.
Shot. That's 4 more. Just clipped it down through mid wicket. He's a outfield lightning quick today. Lee?
Sorry, I was just half listening to Nigel Collins here, just trying to work out what he was doing with the field. As someone who's captained many games in my career, I'm fascinated by field positions and the nuances of cricket. And that's Lomas on to 44 now, so he's just 1 shot off retirement. If Lomas was to retire here, does that just give maybe the skipper, Dolby, and the next batsman in the opportunity just to free their arms for maybe a few overs?
I would say so.
It's important that Lomas does just get to retirement. It's almost like that extra wicket, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Deep breath there from Lomas as he waits. Another slightly shorter ball from Franklin.
Good fielding by Charles Gray there.
So
it's
better figures from Franklin today. Just the 32 runs off the 4 overs, but he has bowled in outside the power play there, so always a tough stint.
He's almost bowled 2 spells. His first 2 were left arm seam and then 2 overs of left arm spin.
So Aaron Lomas here, ranked 34 in the world. As Kavanagh comes in. That's a nice shot there, he's just run it down. Maybe look for a third here. No, it's gone all the way.
Elegant little shot there from Aaron Lomas, just using the pace off the ball. Glide it down to third man for 4 runs.
It's absolutely brutal down there, that part of the ground. Seen the ball run away from me on many occasions.
Chucks it up. Hit down to Nigel Collins, hear it. Long on.
And that's 50. So obviously 6 wickets down here. He's not walked off the field.
Great shot, Nick W. Walsh.
Do you want to just explain to the viewers at home? Obviously we're used to seeing people retiring and walking off.
Yes, so if once Aaron gets his 50, he'll just carry on batting. Normally, if you get 50, you have to retire and then you come back at the end. Oh,
that's just come flying past us here.
Great shot there by Aaron.
So the projected score is just at that 160. Obviously, we've got the home run ball in the last over. Wherever it goes for 6, you get 12. Lomas is just cutting loose here. He's got to 50 and he's got a real positive intent. There's literally just 1 over left, 5 balls. LMS England the 153 for 6. And if I was them, I'd just have a half eye on that 170.
Sure.
Amazing bit of bowling there from Milton Kavanagh. He came on at a tough time. 2 for 22 for Kavanagh as James Franklin comes past, the seamer stroke spinner of the New Zealand side.
I want to know, when is it ever an easy time in this format to bowl?
As he runs back onto the field there.
Absolute legend, James Franklin. Really got involved in this week. And really good guy, great to have him involved.
So is this his final day today? Or is he here for the rest of the week?
Oh, it's Aaron Lomas, he's nicked it. Great catch by Simon Rewa, the young keeper from the Auckland North Shore.
So that's Collins. It appears that Collins has also dropped his pace there and started to roll his fingers over it.
Definitely plans to be taking the pace off the ball here. So we've got Nick W. Welsh as last man stands.
Just going to watch the replay there. Collins didn't just take the pace off it, he's off the short run. Comes in. And he's got one with the off spinner. He's extremely happy with that. Turn around just to check with the umpire, but it was a fabulous catch. As Aaron Lomas just gets a warm applause into a full pavilion there at Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club.
Giving his side a chance.
He'll be really, really frustrated here because he knows that obviously he's left his skipper needing 2s, 4s or 6s as he's the last man standing. And he'll know that there's probably 10 runs out there on the field that has been missed out on. As Darby Walsh hits the ball out to Franklin here. There's definitely not a second run.
Okay, so 2 balls to go. See what Nick's got in his. Who's going to go to? Oh, well done.
That's really tricky.
Oh no.
Oh, there's a man there.
Oh. It's got the dive out. It's got 2 runs.
I've done that myself here in this dry part of the year, and imagine just lying a carpet of sandpaper down and deciding it was a good idea to dive over it, but he's done it. Oh wow. It'd be really interesting there if the keeper had took the bails, because it appears that the captain of England had just got his bat stuck in the footholes there and had dived on top of it.
I hope he hasn't hurt himself. But here's the last ball. Yeah, that's 12.
And there it is, home run.
I think that dive hurt him. That's a fantastic shot.
A right smile from Collins, but I think that really hurts him there. He's done a fantastic job up to that point, but he's just dragged the ball down, and the skipper marches off as the last man standing, knowing that home run, that 12, could be the difference at the end of this game.
More often than not, you see that. Just makes that score, takes the score to that psychological total.
What's fantastic there is, if you watch the replay, as he's hit the ball, he's just started to walk off. He knows it's 6 as it sails into Boomtown.
He'll be enjoying that. At one stage in England, he was the leading home run hitter. Looks happy.
Which may be associated with a slightly different sport, but he's really happy with that. You can tell it doesn't matter what anyone does to cover up the excitement. He's delighted with that, and we've been very lucky with the weather today.
We've been lucky the whole week, so long may it last.
Just a little summary of the scorecard there. Nick Compton struck at 200 there until he was dismissed by Lindsay, 42 off 21. And then a few starts there. Haroon Khan, 13. Blake van der Linde, 10. But really, it's Aaron Lomas's day there. He was 55 off 36. Simon Dunning chipped in with a blistering 23 off 10. And then it was up to Nicholas Darby Walsh at the end to hit the home run and get 16 off 7 balls. And leave it with 167 for 7. Looking at the bowling figures there, Nigel Collins would have been really happy with his figures up to the last ball there, but conceding 12, and he's gone for 37 off his 4. But it's Kane Lindsay with 2 for 22, and also Milton Kavanagh with 2 for 22 that are the standout performers in that scorecard.
Thanks, Lee. Just going back to the Facebook live stream, we've got all the wives commenting.
Just to jump in there, just for the people at home that are watching, just to look at this Pool A, just to know how important this is for England. England would have been looking for a bonus point win here, but I think they'll be more than happy with any sort of victory. LMS Pakistan are on 28 points with the 4 bonus points so far in their 3 games. They were delighted to get over Scotland in a very close game. England, the only other team with a 100% record here, and I think if they get this win here, they'll feel comfortable to know that they're definitely in the quarterfinals. With the other teams, LMS India and Scotland, winning one of the first 3 games. Also New Zealand, if they can get over the line here, they'll join England with a 2-from-1 record. And then the UAE, who have played some really good cricket but have been unfortunate not yet to get a win on the board.
Thanks, Lee. So back to the Facebook live stream and the comments coming from the wives and girlfriends. Philippa Delby Welsh, she saw it. So did their little daughter Hetty, the home run. She's saying absolute hero. Wayne Edgar, what a beaut, Nicky. And Greg Nielsen, home run. He would have seen a lot of those in his time, or hits a lot. He doesn't get hit for too many. Quality bowler, plays in the Wimbledon leagues and the Sunday Southwest leagues. Got some support coming in from the New Zealand wicketkeeper's mom, Bethan Rewa. She said, great shot. Keep any comments or questions coming our way while we wait for the teams to take the field again for the second innings.
I mentioned her before, Selena van der Linde. She's got the old emojis out there,
yep.
And she's praying for an England win. Have we got any scores from the Wales game?
Get that up.
I'm hoping the production squad may just take a little look across.
So LMS Wales got 147 in their 20 overs.
They'll be relatively happy with that. I managed to play on that pitch before. It certainly is starting to take spin, as we know, but there was actually a lot of carry as well, so there's a little bit in it for the bowlers. The South Africans must be absolutely desperate for this win today.
Yes, they probably a little bit complacent yesterday, thinking that they would have a win against Singapore, but Manpreet Singh had a fantastic knock.
My favourite player in the world in this format.
So
Everyone's allowed to be impartial, and I certainly am. And Manpreet Singh is my man.
he's a really nice guy.
He's a really good guy. We had him in the commentary box the other day. He tried his absolute best with his English as well. He did really well. But I know Kanal, who's the franchise manager over in Singapore. Is that right?
He is a really nice guy.
Really lovely fella, and he's full of praise for his Singapore lads. He was absolutely delighted, almost lost for words by that victory yesterday.
I felt I played a bit of a cruel joke on him after the game. I went up to him and I said, there's been a technicality and we need to re-bowl the last 5 overs of that game. I think his heart went through his mouth. And then I just said, I'm just teasing. I was like, thank you for that.
Just looking across at that scorecard from LMS Wales, it appears that Tom Williams continuing his good form. He retired and came back in. He got 70 off 39. And there wasn't a great deal to shout about. David Hughes got 29 off 18, but no one else really. I see they picked Martin Berger.
Yep.
Who plays, I think, with Darren Leach at Connors Key. If I get that wrong, then I apologise. Pick of the bowlers, Jay Beattie, 1 for 19, and Martin van Wyk, 11 runs for 2 wickets. But it looks like Ryan Hobert, who's a real character, a wily spin bowler with a fabulous celebration. He got 3 for 32. And just looking at the South African innings so far, they're striking it really well. Darren Leach has gone round the park. He's 3 overs, none for 29. But Dion Holden's doing well, 2 overs to 17. But it's Venter and Van Wyk, a dangerous opening partnership, and they're striking it really well. Venter 36 off 18 and Van Wyk 21 off 16. So LMS Wales are really gonna have to pull out all the stops here as they're flying.
So we're nearly ready to go for the second innings. The England team taking the field, having a chat about the different fielding options and positions, and if they're going to use the power play. The New Zealand batsmen are Stacey and Nigel Collins.
This is an interesting lineup this for me, because obviously we've just seen Stacey get quite a bad injury. That was in the comms box. He's obviously a little bit worried about his knees. Come on for a few overs of fielding at the end. He's desperate to represent his country.
Looks like they've been asking for a runner. The rule is if you don't take an injury into the game, you can have a runner. Is that right?
I think cricket's becoming very complicated, to be honest. But Nigel Collins comes out to open the batting.
So Nigel Collins gave me a bit of stick last night after listening to the commentary when I sort of said no, he should have had a look and stopped, just shouldn't have slogged from, or say slogged, he should have had a look and then pushed the go button, but he went. So let's hope today he reassesses his game plan.
What did he take umbrage with those comments? Did he think that you were harsh?
He thought I was harsh.
And what did he think the reason for his dismissal was?
He said his normal game plan is just see it, hit it.
Okay, well, that's probably a fair point then, isn't it? Yeah. You're asking him to go against the grain there.
But he just didn't hit it. Okay, so we're nearly ready to go. 167 is the target. Need to make sure we maximize the light here as it's 7:30 in the evening here in Chester. Bit overcast, but Adil Hussain is going to be opening the bowling. Fiery, fast bowler. So they're going with the power play first up. 4 fielders on the offside, 2 on the leg side.
I'm glad to see Adil Hussain here. He's gone back to the end he played. He opened the bowling in the first game against Scotland and ran through their top order. So he's gone back to the far end here, the Ronfleet end, as he comes running in. He bangs it in. What a shot that is. Obviously, Stacey's extremely sore there. His knee doesn't look in a good way.
Doesn't look at all. I think he's been given the license just to swing.
That looked like it really hurt him, that. It's a fine line between bravery and being a little bit daft here. As the owner of the Corner House pub in Chester just comes past. I'm sure some of the teams from Last Man Stands will be welcome there this evening. He certainly will. That's Adam Roberts. He plays in the midweek league here.
Oh, fantastic.
So there's a pub just on the way in. Does some fantastic live music. So I'm sure some. Well, I was good at plugging the kit yesterday, so I might a few of the local pubs might as well have the benefit. So the benefit to obviously Stacey's going out here with a mindset of seeing if he can get some quick runs, obviously before his knee maybe stiffens up. The only downside to this, it does, well, I was going to say it minimises the runs, but it makes it quite chaotic with the runner out there as well.
So we need some loud calling and clear communication.
So for people who don't understand LMS, we don't normally have 2 umpires, do we?
So normally the next batsman in a square leg does the square leg duty, and that's just to make sure we don't speed up time.
Saying here, used as the strike bowler for England. So he'll be looking to get rid of Collins here.
So Nigel Collins, the New Zealand marquee player, one of them, after James Franklin.
Set up here, back of a length. He just drops it into the offside. England are utilising the power play here. The skipper was just back with a point. So he's gone for, just so the people know at home, he's gone for a long on and a fine leg. So there's a massive gap square of the wicket on the leg side. I'm presuming that Aaron Lomas will have to run after them.
So it looks as if Simon Dunning's going to be bowling the second over.
Simon Dunning as well did really well from this end the other day. Played very selflessly before, you know. Strike rate of 200, got quick 20. Tried to move the board on. He's just going to look to try and use this new ball here.
Starts off with a wide.
See, I don't think that is a wide. I think it's died in the wicket. It looks like a...
Looks like the ball just stuck in his hand a bit.
Yeah. If we were watching the IPL, we'd be saying that was a slow ball bouncer. But we've said, as he comes in again, a little push.
Great little shot there by Nigel. Good cricket awareness. Knew it was 2 from the moment he hit it.
Quite surprised here that the batters are choosing to run right up the middle of the wicket here on a spinning deck. I know I'd be having a... If it was the first innings, I'd be having a proper whinge. I'm one of those guys chasing the umpire as soon as he even remotely go the middle of the square.
As a captain, Lee, are you pretty friendly with all the local umpires in the league you play in?
Well, the captain here at the moment is Will Owen. He's doing a fantastic job. So I had 3 fabulous years as captain here. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So, like everything, you move on, take a new challenge, and I thoroughly enjoyed the captaincy. I had an interesting relationship with the umpires. I always enjoyed talking to them after the bar, in the bar. But that's a
great shot by Stacey. Slapped it down to mid-on. It's 4 runs.
Got all of that, didn't he?
He's not going to hang around.
Well, he's just setting himself, isn't he? He's obviously not quite as mobile as he would usually be here, and he's just setting his feet. As the cameraman shows us a couple of beautiful hanging baskets. Do you get any of them in New Zealand? Do you have hanging baskets?
Not really.
I think they're pretty pointless also, but we've got them here in Chester. As the ball goes out to deep square leg, and that's Blake as he launches it into the keeper Lomas. Quite a solid start for both sides here. Do you think New Zealand will be happy with 13 off the first 2?
I think so. I think their plan will be to go at 7 and over to start, and then reassess at 10 overs and see what they'll need to get them home. So Dil Hussain back into the attack. Right arm fast bowler.
Just looking up there at the balcony. Great to see so many different countries and teams socialising after the game. It's a massive part of LMS, massive part of this World Series. From the first night at the opening ceremony through all the games, it's just been a fantastic atmosphere.
Fantastic. A lot of these guys have made friends for life this week. And in 2 years' time, in the next World Series, hopefully see each other again.
So is that the plan? Is it going to be every 2 years?
That's the plan at the moment, Lee.
Is there any front runners for the next one?
In terms of
which country, or
exactly? No, we haven't thought that far ahead yet. But as soon as we...
Is that the idea, for it to be rotated round?
Yeah, definitely.
So we can put our name back in here at Chester Boughton Hall in what? How many years' time? 10 years' time?
Always put a bidding process in.
We could, and that's way above my my pay grade, I'm afraid, here at Chester. So I'm sure the committee here have been absolutely delighted, and so have all the members. Actually, it's been great to see so many people, young and old, from the Chester area coming down as Hussain comes in.
Great shot there by Nigel down to third man. Good fielding by Haroon. Throws it in over the wickets. Textbook stuff.
Obviously the pictures that we're getting from the media team are just fabulous here. It's fractionally darker than the quality of the pictures that you're seeing. It's obviously dusk here.
Hi to Matthew Ward in New Zealand. He captains the Cow Tippers, who play in the Auckland competition. He's saying, shot Stacey, teach him those Cow Tipper skills. So that's 3 overs, 17 on the board.
So we've got the solid base here for the New Zealand side. Nigel Collins has followed your advice. He's 6 from 6. He's bedded in. What's going to happen here? Last over at the power play. What are your thoughts?
I think looks like he's going to play a bit more of a circumspect innings today. Responsible captain's knock. Oh, as I said that. As I said that. I think you heard me say that. Great shot, Nigel.
He's literally just put his front foot down the wicket there. Beautiful flow of the bat. We're going to watch this back now as Dunning just lands that. That's right in the slot there. Like I said, his head was in a great slot. The pictures
looked like he nearly got whiplash from watching that ball fly back over his head.
He tried to repeat the dose there and caught the toe. I think a couple of the England fielders fancied the catch there, but he dropped well short. It's amazing though, just 1-6. Just the scoreboard looks so much healthier.
Yeah. Oh, big swing and a nick.
That's brutal. The ball's come flying into our commentary position here. Haroon Khan ran round. He was nowhere near trying to stop that.
Unlucky Simon Dunning, well bowled.
Oh, what a shot that was. That's gone well back onto pitch 2. And one of the Wales guys tried to take the catch.
Oh. Well there, good length.
Trusty boot there.
I always wonder why cricketers in the field put their foot out to stop balls. I know it's easy, but more often than not you can get one on the ankle or go over an ankle, and then you've got a serious injury on your hands. I
think obviously for some players they can stiffen up as the game goes on, or maybe mobility is an issue.
Yep.
I know certainly as I've gone the other side of 30, the trusty shoe does come out from time to time, especially later in the innings.
Yep.
But I'm totally with you. You know, especially the way the modern game's going. You know, in the outfield you've got to be looking to use your slides and your dives, and you know the standard of fielding now. I try and explain to my dad all the time. From when in his day the ball went past the fielder, they used to get the handkerchief out and wave it goodbye. Now they're chasing and diving.
So Adil Hussain back into the attack. So Nigel just clipped it down to mid-wicket. Blake van Linden throws it in. Great fielding there.
So the size of the field here at Chester, is this a standard LMS field, or do they tend to be a little bit smaller in the leagues? Or
I think it's tough to answer that. There's obviously so many grounds and so many countries. The straight boundaries here are probably about the same as normal fields, but the square boundaries are a lot longer than the other fields that they're talking about, London and New Zealand.
did he play on? I mentioned the other day that when I was playing over there in the first grade competition, he had overlapping outfields in some places. Did the LMS have the same format with the outfields?
Well, yes, great shot there by Stacey. Smacked it over the mid-wicket boundary. He's not hanging around. Really batting on one leg here. Literally batting on one leg.
Just shows how far it is down into that corner, because he's got all of that, and that's just bounced a foot inside the rope. If he was hitting the other way towards the housing estate, I think that would have been onto the road. So very, very good strike.
Fantastic shot. Yeah, so in Auckland, there's the Auckland Domain. There's 8 or 9 pitches, and we use 6 or 7 at the same time, and there's definitely an overlap.
What are some of the big clubs around there? Not necessarily, just obviously the big club houses. I know there's LMS teams within that. What are the big clubs that you use?
Well, we don't really use. We use Parnell Cricket Club for the games, but we mainly use sort of council-run facilities. It's called the Auckland Domain. So Nigel Collins just clips it down to the fine leg. Nick Compton whips it in.
Looks relatively pensive down there, Nick Compton. He obviously knows they're massively in a game here. This could be a real key fixture in the group, as both teams try and catch up with the very dominant Pakistan, who were below par today, I thought, against Scotland with the bat. They've been not heavily reliant, but they've definitely benefited from Abdul Razak at the top of the order. It wasn't his day today.
No, it wasn't. But they got enough on the board and then bowled well. That their left-arm spinner, Batty, he's a fantastic.
He's a very, very good bowler. I've enjoyed watching him, you know, and he seems to be one of the standout performers in this series at the moment.
So Jamie Carter doing the drinks for the England team today. It's a good start by Blake van der Linde. Start to the dot.
The England team surely know that a win today, I mentioned it before, would probably almost secure at least a quarter-final spot.
I think they'll have their eye on that. I think they just want to get themselves into finals day.
So Blake here, even though it's a 3-3 field, but outside the power play, he's just trying to work inside that wide line there. Trying to work one side of the wicket. He knows that Nigel Collins is extremely powerful, so he's keeping it out of his arc, his hitting zone there, and he's making it extremely difficult. I enjoy these black gloves as well. Massive fan of kit being customised. And as Blake comes in, again, a very, very good line.
Slower ball. Taking the pace off it, making it very difficult to get away. Big battle here. These guys know each other well from the indoor circuit. Nigel Collins versus Blake van der Linde.
Do they have extremely understanding partners in New Zealand? Do they play LMS? Do they play grade cricket and they play indoor cricket?
It's a fantastic shot. Slaps it over his head for 6.
Such an amazing place to bat here at Chester. When you get in, you feel very, very comfortable just to hit through the line of the ball. And the daunting figure of Nigel Collins here, after that small blip yesterday, jumping straight back on from that amazing innings on the first day against the UAE. And he must be very, very close to the top of the run standings in this tournament at the moment.
Definitely is.
As he goes again.
It's a great shot.
This time along the floor here.
Superb cricket.
So we just spoke earlier in the over how Blake had managed to just stay away from Nigel Collins. He'd run along the wide line or just inside, and all of a sudden he's bowled 2 straight balls, and both of them have been dispatched, 1 for 6 and 1 for 4.
So we've got Selina van der Linde back on the live stream saying, come on Blakey.
A few people just coming in after work now as a few of the locals start wandering around the ground. Do you think James Franklin will be in next?
Definitely, yep. Got AJ Thorne tuning in from New Zealand.
As there's a change of bowling at the far end, this is Haroon Khan.
Oh, it's a fantastic shot by...
That's gone around to Nick Compton. Moving really well there. Appreciated by his fellow teammates there as they encouraged him after a good stop and a throw in. Khan will be disappointed. He got trapped LBW earlier in the game, and he'll be looking to come back with a bang here with the ball as he comes in. That's it's in the slot, but I don't think he's got enough of it. Looking for the double play.
Half tracker.
Simon Dunning's just ran past Nigel Collins and gone, I know your pain. So obviously knowing what it's like to hit a half tracker to the fielder.
Oh, he'll be wanting to be watching the replay of that.
Like we spoke about before, Ross, if that was hit towards the houses, I think that would have landed on the road, but he hasn't carried it far enough there, and he knew it. He was looking very, very closely, and he didn't quite get enough on it to send it over the boundary for 6. So that's a massive blow for this New Zealand side. But the first wicket for England, and it's 51 for 1.
So Simon Rawa comes in at number 3.
Camera there just got a little glimpse as Nigel Collins went off the field of Jack Williams, the premier spin bowler here at Chester. He's going to be playing for LMS Wales later in the week.
Oh, brilliant.
He took 6 wickets at the weekend. He's a leg spin bowler. He's of absolute top quality. Ireland's Niall O'Brien was speaking to him after the game and extremely impressed with him. So maybe Wales could benefit from his skills. Khan picked up brilliantly there. Didn't use his foot, much to your joy. And throws the ball in. Lomas did really well there. So who'd be the happier so far, Ross? 52 for 1?
I think New Zealand would be happy with the situation. I think England would always be backing themselves. Charles Gray making decisive no for the 2 there.
So Hyman's done well here. He's 23 off 16. Do you think that there's been any effect on the running for the New Zealand side, having a runner out there?
Not at the moment.
Have you ever batted with a runner?
I think I have. It's quite cool. You don't have to run.
I've actually watched a friend of mine who lives in Australia now, Johnny Kettle, playing for Cheshire in a 3-day game at Nantwich, and sadly snicked off cheap.
Yeah.
But the number 3 batsman required a runner. So as he was walking off, cursing himself, he was asked to turn around and go back out and run. The incoming batsman, Rick Moore, then scored 160, and he was out there for the preceding 4 hours. So
Wow.
a cruel, cruel day.
It's Blake van der Linden again. But it's a good length, that. There seems to be a bit of that part of the wicket where it seems to be misbehaving the ball. We saw that when Compton was batting, he got hit a couple of times.
Do you not think that obviously people have focused so much on taking the pace off that when people do actually put that little bit of extra in, there is actually something in the wicket for them? We saw it from Adil Hussain, we've seen it from Blake.
I think that's a good point, Lee.
Just as a few of the Chester ladies team come back at the end of practice there. I'm sure they're going to go back to the bar and the facilities here at Chester and enjoy a few cold drinks watching the game. As Blake van der Linden comes into bowl again. It's just been flat batted again into the deep. They're going to look for 2. And he comes back, fantastic running again. So at the moment it's 111 off 62 balls. Nice bit of fielding there from David Nielsen-Scott. A little inside edge there. I think he would have been in a bit of trouble if he hadn't hit that. So who's your money on now? 'Cause obviously I know that you support 4 different teams here in this LMS
Yeah,
World Series.
that's a tough question. I've got.
Which shirt have you got on today?
I've got my HQ shirt on. Whoa!
It's gone high in the
Gone
air.
high. It's a great
what
catch.
a catch! He's looking for the double play.
Fantastic catch there by Dave Nielsen-Scott.
Wow.
What a catch, sir!
Every player to a man here is sprinting across to Nielsen-Scott.
What a catch!
And Dunning and Welsh and van der Linden do the, looks like some sort of stag celebration there. We've seen it a couple of times in this tournament so far. I'd love someone to come on Facebook Live and maybe explain that to me.
I can tell you exactly what it is. They do it in the Sunday League in Barnes that I play in, and it's just a little tradition that they do with every wicket.
Just watching it again, we're getting a couple of fantastic views here. I'm sure he'll be watching this one later at home. Great pace there. He's got his eyes firmly on the ball.
Fantastic catch. Never took his eyes off the ball. Presence of mind to go for the double play. Fantastic from Nielsen-Scott. An update from field 2. LMS South Africa 124 for 3 after 14.4, chasing 147. So looks like they have got that in the bag, but
Will they have the bonus point as well there, I think?
as long as they chase it down before the 80th ball, they will. But I was just going to say, we know what South African teams are like chasing down scores. They seem to have this mentality of where it's sometimes they can't get over the line. Ooh. So that's James Franklin in. He's going to, Team New Zealand are going to need a big effort from him today.
Very nice touch there from Jamie Carter. He's obviously seen the temperature drop down in this commentary tent here that we're in, and just offered us a cold beverage, which will surely...
Can't wait, it's going to be delicious. As all beers are.
Well, this is Haroon Khan.
To James Franklin. Big knock required from him today. Off the mark with a
I'm expecting
slap down to long on.
I'm expecting big things from Franklin today. I think he knows his team need him, and the run rate's just starting to get a little bit dicey now. Just nearly at 10 and over, 9.5. Haroon Khan. I know a lot of his friends and family watching. He told me before the game, as he's just dropped that one. It could be wide. It's not
5 wides.
Oh, that's a killer. It's a killer. It's one of them as a keeper. You know, it's very, very difficult. You're not sighted. It's spinning. So we're at 65 for 2 here.
Stacey looks in a lot of pain. He's going through the pain barrier for New Zealand. Come on, the Kiwis.
There we go. He's got off the fence.
Oh, no shot off it. Oh, is it wide?
It was wide, and that is an absolute nightmare because...
That's 5. They've run 2. The second wide counts as 3.
That's really good game awareness, isn't it, from Stacey? But this is absolutely killing the England team here. They were doing so well, and then in the space of just a few balls, they've added 10 to the score here. Haroon Khan comes in again. Strong shot there. Goes out to Simon Dunning. And that over has just pulled New Zealand back into this match here. It's 70 for 2 with 1 over left before the turnaround. So you're looking to take part in any more of the Masters games, Ross?
100% yes.
Who will you be playing for? Not to say that but disrespectfully, I'm a bit unsure of who will represent.
We're a combination of the Australia-New Zealand team, so we call the Oz NZs.
Oh, nice. Is that's a really good bowling there from Blake van der Linde. Is there a word for that kind of combination, the Kiwis and the Aussies, or?
Probably say
It's like
bi-nations.
It's the Oceania group though, isn't it?
Yes.
Around there.
Yeah.
So if we've got a couple of Fijians in as well, then we'd be there.
Exactly.
That's a really firm shot. That's gone out to Nick Compton, who's just underneath the scoreboard there. You can just tell that the light is just a fraction lower than it was just a few moments earlier, as the scoreboard, the orange numbers shine bright across the oval here at Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club.
So we've got Nigel Collins on the feed saying, "Tactics, plenty of time to see the pitch and work it out. Laugh out loud." Yes, buddy. Blake van der Linde to James Franklin.
It's a nice shot there.
Delicate little shot down to Nick Compton. Throws it in. Lomas.
So the kits that the teams are playing in, Are they from the LMS club shop?
Yes, they are. They were done by Rifat in Bangladesh. It's done a fantastic job. The teams look really good.
That's a really nice shot there. That's gone very, very quickly towards the nets.
I think Blake van der Linde was just trying to be a bit too clever there. Should have just stuck with his stock ball. Now he's put himself under pressure. But he's got all the experience in the world to...
Quite amazing that literally an hour ago we had Stacey sat next to us talking about the fact that he may not be able to play golf tomorrow, and here he is, 44 not out, opening the batting as Blake comes in again. Going for the run out there, that looked really close. The runner just didn't look like he took off straight away there. Who's running for Stacey? Can we see?
Charles Gray.
Charles Gray. Just out of interest, for the final day, just to put the cat amongst the pinches, we've got some really good camera angles here. Do you think the third umpire could be in use for some run-outs and stumpings?
That'd be a great idea.
I'd like to put that idea forward.
Yep.
Copyright Lee Dixon.
Okay, so the Brains Trust having a chat at the change of overs.
See, I think this is really interesting from England because they've left themselves 10 overs here to the shorter straight boundary and also the shorter leg side boundary. So hopefully they can adjust the tactics. Marquee player Nick Compton is yet to bowl, so it'll be interesting to see if the skipper goes to him and whether those 12 runs from that home run, Ross,
could be the difference.
Could be the difference.
I played in a game a couple of weeks ago.
My man Shabazz Khan's just come over here. How are we doing? Sorry, I can't see the shirt, so I don't know. I just know Shabazz because I've followed him for. Great for Shabazz Khan. I was listening to Ali yesterday. Shabazz plays in a small village in the South Punjab.
Fantastic story that.
And he hadn't even seen a city until he went to Lahore as part of this last man stands tournament, and then he's all the way over in England now, and I just think it's absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic opportunities that Last Man Stands provides.
And they're saying that he's going to go back and he's going to be an ambassador for Last Man Stands in that part of the country, and he's going to pass on to players that maybe haven't had the opportunity like he hadn't, that this is what they can achieve and see some of the world while playing cricket.
That's really cool.
It was a real heartwarming story. I really did enjoy listening to it as Franklin just gets down and paddles that down towards fine leg.
Oh, fantastic effort that by
looks like
Nick W. Walsh, putting his body on the line for his country. Really good. Setting the standard for the team.
It's a really distinctive cheer encouragement from the Kiwis. It's always the same. It's got that real, as someone from England, you can tell it's a Kiwi straight away.
Oh.
And that takes him to his retirement.
Fantastic shot. Heaves it over the square leg boundary.
It's not been Haroon Khan's day at all here. He's changed ends, but he hasn't changed his luck, I'm afraid. He's just dropped that fractionally short. Obviously slightly shorter to this side. Amazingly quick hands from Stacey. Even the height of Blake van der Linde couldn't get up there, and it's just sailed into the fence for 6. Lovely handshake there from Simon Dunning.
Good sportsmanship there. Great to see.
The whole pavilion standing here.
Well batted, Stacey Hardman.
And that'll be 52, not 46, off 30 balls. As all that hard work, he's had his helmet and his bat taken off him for the final 10 yards.
He's trying to make sure that it goes back in his own bag, probably. So that's Charles Gray off the mark. The sweep down to square leg.
So we're in quite a interesting position here in the game. England have 80 runs to play with here in the last 10 overs, but I think there's a real key point here that Franklin's only scored 6 of the 90 runs so far, which is a fantastic position for New Zealand to be in.
Yes, I think they're going to be hoping that he stays there till the end. Calm head, wealth of experience that he could offer these amateur cricketers and get them over the line.
Just had a photo sent in from my father, just on a tangent. He represents Gloucester over 50s.
So textbook forward defence there.
Textbook forward defensive, wearing his baggy green of Upton Cricket Club. We had Jez Lamb, the chairman, in yesterday talking about LMS cricket. And so many people getting in contact with me saying how much they're enjoying it. And, you know, we had Dave Atkin and Mark Leafley play for the England Legends. Mark played for England under 19s, I believe, many moons ago. And Dave's the captain of the over 40 side here. Both of them straight away checking the ranking after one game. I did try and explain to them that they may not be in the top 50, but as Franklin just flicks that away there down towards the fine leg area. It's quite interesting when you watch these marquee players, Ross, that obviously all of them have a different method, but yet are all playing at the very highest level.
So you just hear Nick Compton telling Blake to come round the wickets, changes the angle of attack. Oh,
it's a fabulous insight that from Nick Compton towards Blake, as he comes around the wicket and gets the dot ball. Very distinctive smile of James Franklin there. Loving being in the battle here, representing his country. Deep breath from Blake as he comes in from the city end here.
oh, it's wide. Have to re-bowl that. So the run rate currently is 8.33, right on target on New Zealand. Great shot there by, good running there by James Franklin and Charles Gray. Called 2 from the start. It's going to be a good finish this, I think.
Does James Franklin play much cricket back in New Zealand anymore, or is he over just in the UK full time?
So he doesn't play anything in New Zealand at the moment. He's currently contracted to Middlesex. And,
is that under Kolpak rule?
I think so, yes. And then I think he plays in all the 2020 competitions around the world when he gets a chance to. Blake van der Linden are going to be looking to finish this over well. It's a couple of dots. It's a great shot. Oh, Dave Nielsen-Scott took such a good catch earlier, but he's dropped a difficult chance. I don't know if that could be the difference here. Everyone's offering support and saying hard luck, which is good.
It's a really tough catch, that. It just got to kind of an awkward height. I think he was trying to work out whether to go reverse hands or fingers pointing down. Just getting a bit of analysis from the speckies here. Hands go on his head, but I'm sure that he's going to get the opportunity to make the difference maybe with the ball later in this game. As that brings on ex-England Test batsman Nick Compton.
So it looks like Nick Compton's coming to the attack. Here we go. Captain's thrown the ball to the marquee player. He bowls a bit of right arm off spin.
The one thing about experienced cricketers is even if you're not a bowler, you've obviously got a good understanding of the field straight away. He's got 2 men behind square, one on the offside, one on the leg side, and he's brought the straight boundary riders. Oh
Nick.
my lord.
Oh, Nick Dolby Walsh, unlucky.
He's absolutely broken by that Compton. He's not happy. Doesn't matter. You can just see it off the bat. He's just spun behind. He's misjudged it. Oh. There's another one for our
bloopers reel.
Bloopers reel. All in good fun. Everyone's giving their best out here, but England have just been a bit sloppy in the last couple of minutes here. Half-hearted appeal from Compton.
Nick Compton bowling with some good flight here, getting it up above the batsman's eye line. Charles Gray just hits it down to long on. Blake van Linde gets it back to Nick Compton. Nelson.
Well, it's amazing. In the space of, I'd say, 20 minutes, the experience of Franklin and this partnership with Gray just seems to be
it's confusion.
Seems to be taking this game.
Franklin went one to the second, Charles Gray didn't, and then they both didn't know what they wanted. Nearly a run out, which would be
crucial, wouldn't
it? Now. Look at that.
Oh, he's not happy.
Not happy.
He is not happy.
Tanvir stood strong. Nick Compton looks 100% sure that was out. Can we see the replay, please?
He's just looking towards us in the commentary box here.
Oh, it's too high.
It's pitched outside leg and it's going over. Great decision by the umpire. Otherwise, it was stone dead. Sorry for any people listening before the watershed there. He was not happy with that decision, but... I'm pretty sure if he was given out by that sort of decision, he would not be walking towards the pavilion. He'd be going straight towards the umpire. But more importantly, it wasn't a boundary, and England desperately need a wicket.
Okay, it's Nicholas Dalby Welsh into the attack, the England captain. He's going to need a big effort from him here. Bowling against James Franklin.
Following on with the run-out idea, because obviously we've got the benefit of these cameras, we may even throw a review in as well.
Yep, I think it'll be a good call, that.
Wouldn't want to have to be in charge of some of those, imagine that.
So 2 off the first ball.
As the skipper comes running in from the city end here. Just bowling on the heel of Franklin. And just runs it down to backward square leg. I really do think the England team need to maybe think about bringing a fielder up here or find a way of taking a wicket. Because at the moment I feel like this game's just slightly drifting away. As the skipper runs in. It's a lovely shot straight down the ground.
Great shot. It's 4 more for Charles Gray.
Just looking from that angle there, Charles Gray's got a beautiful setup. extremely well balanced, and he's just put his hands through. Both the fielders were very straight there, but they had no chance. They've called two here, they've called two. Franklin's looking for it.
That's good running by Franklin and Gray.
Do you think England
putting the fielders under pressure?
Do you think England need to maybe go back to Adil Hussain here, the strike bowler?
I think it'd be a good call, that. So they need 47 from 31 at the moment. Well, Nick finished with a dot. So after 13 overs, the score is 121 for 2. The run rate is 47 off 30. So 6 overs to go.
Now, if we were playing 11-a-side cricket here, I'd obviously the batting team would still be fractionally favourites. But in LMS cricket, England certainly need a couple of wickets here as Compton comes in to Franklin. It's high in the air.
He's gone inside out.
What a great shot that is.
Great shot.
Showed all his experience there, played inside out, over extra cover, as we have a close-up on a 7-year-old Renault Scenic there.
Where's the...
Many of the England fans are starting to just get a little bit worried here as another close-up on a car. Obviously the cameraman here is looking to sell a few on Auto Trader, as Dave Nielsen Scott is jumping back over the fence here and carrying on with this game. He's quite a talented bowler in his own right. Do you think that they'll maybe turn to Nielsen Scott for the wicket here?
Looks like they're probably going with the same tactics as the Kiwis were, with keeping pace off the ball. It's Charles Gray on strike to Nick Compton. Oh, well bowled.
He's done too much there, hasn't it? He's just took the pace off the ball there.
Nick Compton doesn't look happy.
I think it's the fact that if you beat the bat in this format, if it's not a dot ball, you're furious, aren't you? You've done all the hard work. There's singles everywhere, and just to get a dot ball's massive in a 5-ball over.
Well bowled, Nick Compton.
That's what we spoke about just a few moments ago. The fact that he's got that man back there for that. That's what he's looking for. That extra bit of bounce. Just trying to roll his fingers across the ball there.
Whoa, that's a big wicket.
And there it is.
Nick Compton's thrown it up. Gray looks like he was deceived by the flight. Played all around it. And that's him. That's his job of the day done. Well bowled, Nick Compton. Could give England a glimmer of hope in this game. Come on, England. Come on, boys. It's coming home.
That's franchise manager Ross.
So what was the Soccer World Cup or Football World Cup that's just happened? What was did you ever think it was coming home?
Well, actually, we had over 2,000 people sat outside the clubhouse with the big screen on.
Oh, brilliant. So it's almost like a fan zone.
It was a fan zone,
Yeah.
and it was absolutely heaving down here. And I'll be honest with you, I was singing the song 3 or 4 times a day on the radio, and I believed, like we always do. So I thought the England team did fantastically well. He made us extremely proud, and Maybe with this wicket here, I've been saying it a couple of times, maybe Nick and his team can bring it home this time.
So Nick W. Walsh, the bowlers. Wiley Seamers. Waits for the ambulance to go past so he can settle his nerves. Comes into James Franklin.
I just really think that the England team have got to sort out the line to James Franklin here. They're bowling extremely full, both sides of the wicket, and he's having to take no risks at all.
Well, he just seems to be seems to be getting lots of twos, which keeps the scoreboard going. Good cricket. Calm head. Just rotating the strike. That's Simon Matthews, who plays in the Wellington Leagues in New Zealand. He was the #1 ranked batsman after the 2017-2018 season. Plays for a team called the Titans.
So how do these rankings work? Is it weight of runs? Is it strike rate? What's it based on?
Well, all the leagues are graded on strength. So you've got the strong leagues, you get more points than you do for doing well in the weak leagues. You get points for getting a 50, points for strike rate. And for the bowlers, great shot there by James Franklin. Well fielded by Nielsen Scott. Gets a long barrier out.
He seems to have his own personal fan club that's emerged just down this far end, Nielsen Scott. They're clapping and cheering everything he does down this end. Has dropped short there. It's gone out towards Haroon Khan in the deep. That's one bounce, pick up and throw. The required run rate at the moment is just around 8 and over, so I think the England team either need a couple of wickets or they need a really tight over just to send that back up to 10. But at the moment I think New Zealand feel very comfortable in the position they're in.
So Compton's going to bowl his third over. So they're definitely sticking with a spin option because Haroon Khan is going to bowl after him. This should be a tight finish, this. As Matthews just clips it down to Dunning on the fine leg boundary.
Would they not be tempted maybe just to bring 1 or 2 fielders into Matthews? He's just come in.
I think that would be a good tactic, create a bit of pressure. Compton to James Franklin.
He's hit that extremely hard.
Straight past him, it's 4 runs.
Like a tracer, that's just come down in front of our position here. I think if anyone's listening online, I think we may have to get a blanket or a coat appeal for my co-commentator here, Ross. It's absolutely freezing compared to the weather. It's been so beautiful here in the UK, and the weather is and the temperature's just dropped a little bit in this corner. So this is the final game of the day here to finish. South Africa got past LMS Wales on the back pitch.
Yep, they did. So that should keep the momentum and go for those boys.
Who's the favourite in the other group?
Oh, it's a great shot by...
And that's gone to
Franklin.
Boughton!
Oh!
And that's gone straight into the balcony.
So 21 to go now. Nick Compton chucking it up. James Franklin smashing it over long off into the chairman's house, into his balcony.
There it is.
There it is. What a fantastic setup he has. And I was thinking,
The old
if
Astra
I
tip.
ever had the chance to own a house, I'd love that setup.
Well, not that he's selling it. I don't think. I think you'd have to come in with a massive offer to prize that one away from him.
So Haroon Khan back into attack. The required rate is now down at 7, and the current run rate is 8. So,
Stop ball.
but pressure is a funny thing. Pressure does funny things to people. Blake van Lillen spurring the troops on in the field. Oh, that's 2 dot balls.
I'd definitely be looking to get another man into the ring here. 2 really good dot balls.
Oh, it's 3 dot balls.
Oh no. I'm surprised there that Matthews actually came back for the second run there. Yeah, Franklin's just started to motor here, unless Franklin's looking to maybe just move the ball around and shepherd his partner to victory here. But he's 3 off 6.
Oh,
That's an amazing
good effort
attempt
by
there.
Dave Nielsen.
He obviously realised the wicket was of real importance there. He's
His fan zone are giving him a hard time, saying there should have been a catch. I think that's pretty harsh. Haroon Khan in again. To Simon Matthews. Looks like they're going to try and get 2 again. No. Knows a sensible call from Frankie.
Shots over. 17 off 10 balls.
Just to give our viewers a bit of insight, it's getting pretty dark out there, so I think the New Zealanders are going to try finish this off sooner rather than later. There's Charles Gray just having a think about his shot. The locals on the balcony watching. The neighbours having a chat over the fence. Looks like he's explaining the double play rule to her. And she's not interested, she just sat down. Haroon, Adil Hussain back into the attack.
The gentleman up there on the balcony then, that's actually Phil Evans. He's the manager of the under-19s Vitality Bash side here at Chester. And it's 16 off 10 balls going into the last 2 overs. And it's the Premier bowler Adil Hussain has come back on at the City end. It's full. They've just accepted the single and they've put Franklin back on strike. He's 7 off retirement here. Do you think he'll be trying to do that in just 1 or 2 balls?
Well, that's a funny thing. That I've often seen that rule change the course of a game. So if he gets out, if he gets his 50, then someone else has got to come in and see the team home, and it creates a bit more pressure.
I just don't know if he'd be tempted just maybe to get a couple of 2s here. Take him a little bit closer.
Oh,
No,
big swing and a miss.
To
Swing and
dot
a
ball.
miss. Shake of the head by James Franklin.
Quite a few English fans are really starting to get behind. They believe that they can maybe come back and upset the New Zealand side here. They're well ahead, but another couple more dot balls here is going to raise the pressure. As he adjusts his field again. Let's see what he comes up with here. As Hussain comes in round the wicket from the City end. He's bowled brilliantly.
2 dots. Come on, the England fans are really getting behind their team now.
Hussain just bowled into that Yorker box there, that wide Yorker.
15 from 8.
Real high quality bowling there from Hussain.
Come on, England.
Classic. There he is anyway. Into Franklin.
Oh,
He's just worked it into the leg
Goes
side here.
down.
He's took off. He's going to look for a second run here.
No.
He's turning back.
Good sensible call that. Good cricket this.
So all of a sudden, the game is well and truly in the balance here. Just in camera shot there, just a few of the LMS lads from Port Sunlight. They've come down to support this event as Hussain comes in over the wicket.
Oh.
Through to the keeper, he's banged it in, and that's over. And that takes us into the final over of the match here. And that is quite an unbelievable over from Hussain. I think he probably will get quite a ripple of applause from the supporters down towards the canal.
That's 14 from 5 balls. Who's going to bowl this last over?
Just going back to that final ball from Hussain, we spoke about it about 10-15 minutes ago, where bowlers have tried to take the pace off. All the bowlers that have actually put something into their action and gone at full pace, there's been extra bounce in there.
Very true.
So I'll be interested to see. I know the South Africans enjoyed playing on pitch 1, and the Australians, as the cameras pan across just before the final over. The sunset here in the city of Chester, England.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful, but there's one final massive over here that's going to have a massive part to play in the Group A table.
Looks like Simon Dunning's been throwing the ball.
No one's moving over there in the
Big crowd, yeah.
the players zone.
South African boys getting stuck into a couple of beers. The BAS kit on show.
Bit of a discussion here on how they're going to set the field out. They've implemented the power play here. So for the people watching at home, they've gone for 4 on the offside, which is relatively dangerous. They're bowling against an international cricketer in James Franklin here as Dunning comes in. Got into the leg side. It's gone high.
Oh, it's a
catch!
great catch.
Massive
Great catch for Blake van der
celebration.
Linde. Fantastic catch on the square leg boundary.
That is unbelievable. And we're going to see this celebration again there.
Watch the
There it
Aon.
is.
Watch the Aon celebration. Boom.
Poppy Gray here thinks the Kiwis have blew it. And Wayne Robertson thinks there's going to be a super over, but it will be a tie. There's no super overs in the pool phase, I'm afraid. Maybe next time round in 2 years' time. That's gone high to the furthest part of the ground. It's a brilliant catch, and he threw it in, looking for the double play.
Kiwis don't look happy. I think they thought they had this in the bag.
And you can see there that Nigel Collins is actually watching this on Facebook Live here. So quite a few people have
Selena
stayed
van
on
der
late.
Linde going slicky and blakey. It's a good combination for 2 guys that are great mates. So that's Milton. Kavanagh comes in. Top edges it down to 3rd man. That's 2 runs.
So this is the key now. If you've not seen an LMS game before, we're just coming into that phase now where as soon as New Zealand get within 12 runs, they've got an opportunity to win the game off the final ball with a home run. And it's amazing, isn't it? That home run from Nick Dalby-Walsh could change this game from the first innings.
So he's heaved it away for 4. Milton Kavanagh.
So all of a sudden here, 10 off 3 balls. This has been by far up there as one of the best games so far. It's ebbed and flowed beautifully.
8 off 2.
Sorry, the graphics are just fractionally behind here.
Oh. But
Are they allowed to change the field mid power play?
Yeah, yes you can.
So you can bring a man over.
You can have 3-3.
You can go from a 4-2 to a 3-3.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just for the viewers at home there, we're all learning together this fabulous brand of cricket. This is LMS cricket. World Series at its absolute best, and we're going into the final ball knowing that Milton Kavanagh has the chance to win the game for his country to the short boundary here at Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club with a home run. Nothing more, nothing less here, as all the England fans stand here in anticipation. Literally 10 minutes ago this game was over, and all of a sudden now one good ball from Simon Dunning will bring home the victory.
It's coming home.
As he comes in. Slot.
Not enough.
Short. Massive roar comes up as the home nation here charge in, and they've done it. They've gone 3 from 3. What an amazing game of cricket as Nick Compton goes over to celebrate with his team. Hopefully we'll get word with him on the interview shortly, but what a fabulous game that was. No, I don't think anyone believed with 5 overs to go that the England team had a prayer.
No. Just showed
And look, without those 12 runs, we'd be talking a very different story here, and we'd be talking about LMS New Zealand getting their second victory of the tournament. But instead, now they've put themselves in a really tough position to qualify. They've won 1 out of the first 3 games, and they're going to have to win probably both of their last games to look at a qualifying spot.
Let's hope they enjoy their rest day tomorrow and they come back Thursday and Friday and with 2 wins and get into the finals day.
And here we are. We look at the group here. England and Pakistan both tied on 28 points. Pakistan just fractionally ahead on net run rate there, both with 4 bonus points, but most importantly 3 wins each. LMS India have had a fantastic day after probably a rotten couple of days. We had a great chat with KB. They've managed to go into the qualifying spots here. New Zealand have dropped out, so the net run rate of India may come into it, but New Zealand, Scotland, both of them have got to be chasing India. It's going to be one of those 3, isn't it, to make it into the final qualifying berth. I think with the UAE needing 2 massive bonus point victories.
It's going to be a fantastic spectacle on Thursday and Friday, with tomorrow being a rest day for the teams. So we'll see you then. Thanks, Lee.
It's been a pleasure, Ross, and I'll see you soon. Just as we shoot off here, we're going to go across to Nick Compton, who's going to go through some of the aftermatch presentations.
Yes, it is as dark as it may seem back on your screen at home. It's been an absolute corker here, a thriller of a game between England and New Zealand. I'm fortunate to say, standing here as an England player, we managed to get over the line, but very hard luck to New Zealand. They had it all the way. Good experience from James Franklin. Where do you think you lost it?
Basically the last ball, but no, we did good effort. We lost Stacey early in the injury, lost a bowler, so we had to try find something there. But apart from that, I thought it was just a basic, simple game.
Great game of cricket, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely. It was loving it all the way to the end.
And you were looking really dangerous there at one stage.
Oh, I'm struggling to see it, to be honest with you. It was pretty dark at the beginning, but yeah, no, it was all good. Good.
No, thanks, mate. Well played, eh? And I think it's going to be a real tough contest going into the last few games.
Definitely. Big game Thursday against Scotland. It's going to be a good one. Must-win game, obviously. Rest up, come back fresh, hopefully pull something out of the bag again.
Well done, Nigel. Well played, mate. Well done. To my captain, how's the heart rate, mate? Is it still going there?
Incredibly quickly at the moment. Yeah, I'm under a lot of pressure, so it's one hell of a win, and that's why we love LMS. It was awesome. So
yeah, one of the better games of cricket. Doesn't matter what form of cricket it is, to have a thriller like that was brilliant.
I think when it goes that close, and as I said, a home run in the first innings to give us an extra 12 really sort of gave us those few extra runs that we needed. And I think by the end of it was within 6 or so. So if they'd hit a 6 off the last ball, we would have game over. So fantastic.
Yeah, I mean James Franklin played really well, didn't he?
He played fantastic, but again I think when we did the power play in the last over, put a pressure on him to leg side, and he unluckily hit it right down the neck of our fielder. pulled off an absolute blinder. So.
Well, you win some, you lose some. England have come out on top, but it might not be our day another day. Well done to another great day of LMS cricket. Look forward to seeing you again on Thursday.